You want to learn how to work smarter, not harder. I feel like you should always strive to try to be as efficient as you can in a short amount of time, because when you do that, you can actually earn more income. Welcome to the Creative on the Grind podcast. It's your girl DeAndra, and I'm back with another episode. So in today's episode, we're going to be reflecting on some of the lessons that I learned from the first year in running my business. I wanted to bring you this episode because I know there's probably a few of you who are within your first year of running your business. You could be in your third year of running your business, but all of these reflections and lessons that I've learned, you will probably resonate with at least one or two of them. So the first year in running my business, I was literally all over the place. I came from a background where my mom was an entrepreneur, but in a different industry. And when I started my business, honestly, there was really no one to pull information out from because it was a totally different business that, again, wasn't popular. So I really had to get innovative and creative and just go with the flow and make things up as they come. And with doing so, I learned so many lessons and I made so many mistakes. And in all, it made me who I am today. For example, when I first started out, I started off with a high price point. And I think at the time, my minimum was $350 for balloons. And I remember telling people around me and, when I was trying to sell up my services, like, oh, my balloons start at $350. And a lot of people were like, are you crazy? Who's going to pay that much money for balloons? It's too expensive. I don't think that it's going to work. But I was like, no, it's going to work. I feel in my soul that it's going to work. And doing all of my, research and profits and losses, I was like, this is how much I should charge so that I can actually make a profit and make this into a business. I remember getting my first high ticket client and the job was for $1,000. And I could not believe when this lady sent me $1,000 and it was in my account. I was like, oh, I'm onto something. Like, this is about to be a thing. And I'm so happy that I continued pursuing my dream, because if I would have listened to all of those people who said that I was too expensive, I probably would have just stopped there and not fulfilled my dreams and turn them into what they are today. So there are 3 points that I'm going to be going over today in this podcast. And the first is the importance of systems and structures within your business, because this is a huge lesson that I learned. Managing your finances wisely, and productivity and time management hacks that have saved my life. So this is going to be fun. I hope that these tips will help you out. Let's hop into the importance of systems and structure within your business. When I first started my business, I started off using Excel for my invoicing, and it was chaotic. And then I finally stumbled up upon PayPal, and I started doing my invoicing that way, which made life a little easier, but it was still so hard to manage everything, to make sure people were paying my invoices on time, and to keep track of everything. I felt like I was so scatterbrained, and I feel like it made being a business owner so much more challenging because of how scattered everything was and not having those systems in place when I first started. Mind you, I was just piecing things together. So that was the best I could do at the time. I want to emphasize the importance of having the proper systems and CRM systems within your business. Now, I know I dropped my HoneyBook commercials into my episodes, but I'm an advocate for HoneyBook. And now that I'm an educator for them, I fully support it because it has helped my business tremendously. And once I start using HoneyBook, I felt like clients would book and pay their invoices on time, faster. And I saw my revenue double within 6 months. It was insane how much change I was seeing with having a client management platform. And in the business world, that's called a CRM. So when you hear the term CRM, just remember it means client relationship management. And It's just a software that helps you keep everything in place. There are so many out there. I just promote HoneyBook because I use HoneyBook. If you don't have systems in your business right now, I would highly recommend figuring that part out. If you're just starting your business, really start that, because then you're going to go in with so much more clarity and know how to manage your clients so that things don't fall off. For example, when I was using Excel invoicing, sometimes I lost clients because it took me so long to do that task of creating the invoice. And I felt like I was trying to be as professional as I could, but I was like grasping on for dear life. Once I start implementing systems in my business, that's when I start seeing the change. And it was like having a personal assistant, because you could do automations and things. So that is something huge. So whatever business that you do have, product based or service based, figure out the systems first. Like the website and all that stuff is awesome, but if you don't have the structure behind the scenes and your back end in place, you are going to feel unorganized and you're going to feel like you don't know what you're doing. And that's where sometimes the hindrance of your confidence comes into play, because you're like, shoot, I forgot to do this, or I forgot to send this person this, or I forgot to make sure they paid. And you want to make sure that you aren't letting anything fall through the cracks. Things will fall through the cracks, but having the proper systems and structure in place will help alleviate all of that chaos. So next, let's talk about managing your finances wisely. Now, I know finances is a tricky topic as well when it comes into business, because it's like you want to have everything set up in your business. So sometimes you start to form like unnecessary spending habits, and you start buying all these things that you think you need because you don't know what you need just yet. And I made this mistake because I was buying all types of office supplies and extra balloons that I thought I might need one day, and all of the colors under the rainbow, and things that I didn't currently need. That was a hindrance, because I could have saved that money and put it somewhere else. I could have probably invested in a coach, or I could have probably invested in some type of business education so that I could expedite this process. But no, I was spending my money wherever I thought that I needed it. And again, that was without having any guidance, not knowing what to do. And I just got happy. Especially, I got like a little small business loan. I was like, I need all of this equipment. And some of the stuff I did not even use. I'm telling you, it's like in my storage, still chilling right now. And again, that money could have been used elsewhere. Make a list of your wants and your needs. And all of the things that you want are things that you just want because it looks nice, or because it's the latest version of whatever it is. But the things that you need are the things that you need now to run your business. So for example, if there's like a new inflator that's coming out that's $1,000, but the standard one that I can use right now is like $200. Let me get that $200 inflator and put it in my needs pile, because that's what I need right now to actually start the business. Once I start making money, then I can hop into my wants pile and start getting the things that I actually want, like the luxury equipment and tools and stuff that I need for my business. So you don't have to get everything high end at the very beginning, or the top notch camera, or the top notch whatever it is. Get what you need to make the business run, and then see what you need later. Making sure that you create budgets and tracking your expenses, along with saving like a percentage of your income for your taxes, so that, when tax season does come along, you are ready to pay off your taxes, because you don't want to get too far back in taxes and have to owe the IRS. It gets crazy. So just make sure that you are setting yourself up and trying your best to manage these different areas. There's so many different platforms out there that you can track your expenses. Even on HoneyBook, you can track your expenses on there. QuickBooks, you can track your expenses and your mileage. Or you can create like a spreadsheet on Notion or Asana, and just create something to keep you structured. And do this monthly or at least quarterly, so that you don't have to go a full year and then have to go back all the way to January and figure everything out. So try your best to do either monthly reviews or quarterly reviews. I remember when I first had to pay my taxes for my first year, and I was like, oh my God, this is my first time I owe money. Like, I have to owe all of this money. And it was insane. But thankfully, my accountant told me to put money to the side. And he was like, just put 10 to 20% of your income away every time you get paid or every month, so you are ready to pay your taxes when it's tax time. And I'm so happy that I listened to him, because when I saw my 1040 form, I was like, oh, okay, I owe money this year. It was an experience, and I learned a lot within those times of like just budgeting and knowing how to use my money wisely and knowing how to allocate my money so that I can make a profit from the work that I'm doing. The third point that I want to talk about is productivity and time management. This was a huge lesson that I had to learn, because I made so many mistakes with my time management in the beginning. Because in my line of work, I have to go from one event to another and then another. And that's how I book myself out. Within your business, you're going to find how you are going to book yourself out. You are going to know, and you're going to learn how long it's going to take you to do whatever project. And then you're going to allocate time for that so that you can move on to the next project. But you have to create a system. And what I start doing is every installation that I had, I would time myself and then I would write it down or put it in my notes. And then at the end of the week, I would be like, okay, it took me an hour to do this job, or it took me 2 hours to do this job. To get from Burbank to Calabasas, it took me like 45 minutes with traffic. I really measured out everything so that in the future, when I had someone call from this location, I knew how long it was going to take me to get there. And then I also knew how to put in a buffer. So then it gave me enough time to get to my next installation. And so with whatever projects you're working on, even if you're like a hairstylist, graphic designer, you should know how long it takes you to do each service that you're providing. If you don't know that, you need to work on that. And also practicing to see how much faster you can get while keeping the quality and efficiency of the service in place is crucial as well. I would try to always beat my time so that I'm faster and I can do more in less time. Okay. And you will learn your own productivity hacks, but you have to just also have this in mind. And that's why I wanted to mention this. It was my first year. I was learning everything new. It was like a baby learning how to walk. I had to make all of these mistakes and I had to learn all of these lessons so that I can become the entrepreneur that I am today. And within all of this, I had to challenge myself the most. Like I had to challenge myself so I could be better and execute jobs with full efficiency. You want to learn how to work smarter, not harder. I feel like you should always strive to try to be as efficient as you can in a short amount of time, because when you do that, you can actually earn more income. I was getting to the point where I knew how to do my installs in 45 minutes to where I was doing like 7 installations in a day. And I know that was crazy. It was crazy. It was insane. But I was making great income at the time. And that was the time, like my prime time. So I didn't really care about if I was overworking myself. Self-care, all that stuff went out the window because I was just trying to make money and get this business off the ground. But now looking back, I wish I would have probably took more care of myself with, taking more self-care days and things like that. But I did get massages and all of that stuff to make sure that I still kept my body intact, but I could have done so much more. Also, without managing my time properly, I was like the friend that was late to the parties, came in depleted because I was so tired from my day because I didn't manage my time, but I still wanted to show up and be a good friend. It was a lot that I had to learn. But now I learned that, if I'm working a full day and I'm tired, I can just tell my friend, if it's something not like crazy, if it's a birthday party, I'm going to try my best to get there. But if it's something where it's like after a certain time, like 10 o'clock, I know I'm not going to be any fun. So I'm going to vocalize that like, I'm not going to be fun. So I'm not going to show up, but I can put you in my calendar for another day and it will just be me and you, my treat. And that's what I do for my friends if I have to, because I've learned to also put myself first, because even within business and in life, because my clients, they would try to they will try to run you over sometimes. Oh, can you just please just squeeze me in or do this and fit me in? And the money is calling. We always hear the money, but then we don't listen to our body. And our body's like, you cannot take this on right now. Like, it's okay. You will be okay. You do not have to deplete yourself for others. But that's a lesson that you will have to learn. And everyone's experiences are going to be different. You may resonate with some of these experiences that I'm having in this episode, but you're going to have your own experiences. And within that, you're going to know what's good for you, what's not, and what's going to work best for you and your business. But I learned so much, but I really want to emphasize like building that structure with in your time management, because time management makes you more efficient as a business owner, and creating a schedule for yourself is key. Once I start getting good, I start setting up my week. So it was like, for example, Mondays were my days where I answered all of my emails from the weekends because I did not respond to emails on the weekends. And then I would also send out all my thank yous to all my clients that I designed over the weekend. Tuesday, I would unpack all of my bags from the weekend and put everything back, replenish balloons and all of that stuff. And then Wednesday, I had a day to myself where I could do whatever I wanted. Thursday, I would start getting prepped for the weekend, ordering balloons, packing bags, doing whatever I needed to do. And Friday through Sunday were event days, and it was showtime. And you're going to find in your industry your own flow. But I always say create a flow. Don't just do things when you want to. Have a system so that you can also schedule in time for self-care, spending time with your friends and family, working out, doing all those things too. You want to have a life. You don't want to just be a business owner. And that's something I wish I knew in my first year, but I didn't know. I had to just learn that. But now I know. So now I'm sharing this with you so that you can learn how to start implementing these strategies now so that you can be a stress-free entrepreneur in the future. You're still gonna have some stress. You can have less stress, and that's gonna make entrepreneurship way more fun. My first year, as I reflect on it, it was a blessing. And I'm so grateful for all of the experience that I was able to gain in that first year. Even the mistakes, like I really appreciate them now because making all those mistakes turned me into an amazing entrepreneur who was fearless and willing to take risk. And you have to be willing to take risk and bet on yourself in order to survive. I mean, having a business for over 7 years now is insane to say because a lot of businesses don't even last 2 years. So let alone getting through their first year. And for me to have this business and seeing it come close to a close, like it may close in the next like year or so, it's been an amazing journey. And I want you guys to embrace your journeys because it's, like I said, it's going to be different. As I'm moving into this next journey into coaching and helping creatives, like this is going to be a whole nother journey that I'm going to talk about probably in the next 5 years because we're always ever changing and there's always going to be a journey. Just because you start the business, like you got to keep going. I feel like you're going to get in your business and then you're going to be like, oh, I want to do something else. Or, oh, I want to add something else. And it's going to be a whole new mission because that's what life is about. It's about us learning, taking on new challenges and not staying settled with where we are and who we are. It's about stepping out of your comfort zone, and starting a business and growing a business is definitely going to push that. It's definitely going to be that thing that puts you out of your comfort zone, but it's so rewarding. Just knowing that I don't have to call my boss and tell him I can't come in today. If I just want to sleep in, I'll sleep in. The little things like that, or just being able to grab lunch with my friends on a weekday or, go on a hike on a Wednesday. Like things like that are the things that I love about entrepreneurship. And the scary sides are obviously not having a consistent paycheck. Those things are scary. Trust me. That's why I say to make sure you have a plan and make sure that you have everything situated to know that you can survive just off your business. If you're not ready for that, keep your 9 to 5 until you are, because it's no point of putting extra stress on yourself. And then you have to end up coming to a crossroads where you're like, do I have to go back to a 9 to 5 and close my business? Like, you don't put yourself in that predicament. So just have faith in yourself and just know that it's going to come with challenges. And one big thing I want you to try to learn throughout your first year is how to problem solve. When you become the ultimate problem solver, I'm telling you, like, the world is yours, because I'm the queen of problem solving within my business. And if there's ever an issue, I try to figure it out the best that I can. And if I can't figure it out, I always reach out and ask for help. So don't ever be too prideful to ask for help either, because help is needed. Because like I've said before, I build a community and they're loyal to me and I'm loyal to them. And if I do have a business question or if I do need help, hey, I'm going to reach out to somebody who's done this so that I don't have to waste time trying to figure it out. Do that. Ask for help. Get help where needed. Don't try to figure out everything on your own, because it just wastes time and you're going to be doing tasks over and over again where you could have just did it once because you had the information. And if you are having any business issues or challenges, drop them in the comments below. I would love to, read them and see if there's any insights that I can give you. It's all love here, and I just want to help you guys thrive. So that's all for today's episode. I hope that you enjoyed it. Again, if there's any topics or anything that you guys want me to talk about, feel free to shoot me a DM or leave a comment on my YouTube channel. Yeah, so that's all for today's episode. And make sure that you follow the podcast if you haven't already, and leave me a review, because again, it helps my platform so much, and just hearing feedback from you guys will just help me so much, so I can make sure I'm doing this effectively and providing you guys with the knowledge that you guys need. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that share and subscribe button. And until next time, stay creative and stay on the grind. Bye.